action, any action, any action, any action, any action, any action, any action, any
Action. SportsCast. I'm your producer Martin, joined by your local Las Vegas handicappers, Effie.
What is up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Any Action Sportscast. We're here to break down UFC 271, Adesanya vs. Whittaker. It's your boy Effie and my producer Martin on the ones and twos.
Welcome back to the number one sportscast here on YouTube. So far in profit after 3 UFC events, another action-packed one, UFC 271. 1 week down, 7 weeks to go, Effie. I can't wait.
Dude, what a stretch we're on. We're on 8 straight weeks of UFC fights, but real quick, we have to recap before we get into UFC 271, our UFC Vegas 47 performance. We had a great night. We went 6-2 for plus 4.79 units. Our lock of the night hits again. Shout out to Shavkat Rakhmonov. The funny hat bet hits. Let's go. What I say, never bet against a guy with a dead animal on his head. We're at plus 9.42 units on the year, and dude, I'm pumped. We're pumped. We got to break down this sick UFC 271 pay-per-view. But let's jump right into it, man. Right away, let's get right to the main event. We have Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker. The middleweight title is on the line. Adesanya is coming in at minus 275. Whittaker at plus 240. Now, dude, off the bat, when I think about this matchup, to me, without question, these are the two best middleweights on the planet. Not even close. And honestly, whoever wins this fight has well, maybe Robert will have to win twice, but they have a claim at like the best ever in the division ever in this weight class. That's how good they are. The skill sets are amazing. But I gotta say, I don't think Rob could look any worse than he did in that first performance. He just looked so out of character. He was rushing in, lunging, throwing wild, and zero takedown attempts. It was just strange. Much like Aljo versus Peter, I doubt he looks as bad in the rematch. So I expect it to be better, but I just don't think Robert Whittaker makes it to the cards. I think it's knocked out again. I think the 7-inch reach advantage against Adesanya is going to hurt him again. Adesanya, dude, in 11 UFC fights has an 80% takedown defense. So it's not like he's just getting taken down at will. He's he's a great, for someone that's just a pure kickboxer, that's insane to come over to UFC and have that kind of success. But I think Marvin Vettori is a better wrestler than Rob, and he couldn't really get anything going against Izzy. And if Rob really wants to use his wrestling to win this fight, he can't do it against the cage in the warning track. He has to get Izzy down in the open mat. And I just think that Jan Blachowicz had such success against Izzy in that scenario because he was bigger. He was, 20, 30 pounds heavier than Izzy. And I think that's not going to be the case here. And I think I lean Izzy via KO, man. What do you think?
I think he already took Rob's soul last fight. It's not a matter of if he knocks him out. It's a matter of when he knocks him out. So I'm all over the Izzy KO. I'm all over Izzy. Money line straight up. People are saying Rob wasn't there the last fight. I'm sick of fighters with that excuse saying I wasn't my best. It's your job. It's your job. You have limited time to show up to work per year, and the rest you can just put your feet up and train. But that excuse doesn't work. I think we're going to see the same Robert. I think he's going to be broken down round 2, going into 3, and I think we'll see a KO, I think, the 4th round.
Yeah, producer Martin with the harsh vibes on Robert Whittaker. He's going hard on him. It's a little cold in my opinion, but yeah, he wasn't there, and he said so himself. He said his ego got to him, and he just wasn't really there, like, all mentally that fight. But, regardless, I do think it's kind of strange that, not strange, just kind of weird that Robert had to win 3 fights before he got his rematch. Usually a champion, all they have to do is win 1 fight, or usually get an immediate rematch. And I did find it annoying how Izzy's coach, Eugene Behrman, and Izzy wouldn't stop mentioning Darren Till and how they wanted to fight Darren Till and this and that. And I was just like, what the hell? Darren Till hasn't done shit in the division. But so it's not like Robert doesn't deserve the shot. Clear, like I said, 1-2 in the division, and I'm pumped for the fight. And I just hope we get a good fight, man. Like I said, I can't see Robert making it to the cards. I think he's getting knocked out, sadly, and I love Rob. Which brings us to our co-main event, man. This low-key saved the card, in my opinion. This is going to be an exciting co-main event. Swing and bang. 2 guys we've talked about on the podcast before. Derek Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa. Derek Lewis coming in at minus 185. Tai Tuivasa at plus 165. Now, This fight's in Houston, bro. He's gonna be at home. Derek Lewis is gonna be at home. It's Black History Month. I heard someone online today say that Derek Lewis hits harder during Black History Month, and there's just no way that I'm gonna bet against Derek Lewis in this spot. Did you see that Ty said that he accepted the fight while he was drunk?
I didn't see that, but I did hear about that.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh, geez. And then today on Ariel's podcast, he said he still had 8 pounds to cut, which I thought was like, damn, I didn't know you cut weight for heavyweight. But I just can't get Greg Hardy clipping Tai Tuivasa out of my head in that fight that they had, even though Greg Hardy rushed in and got knocked out. I just think that Ty's going to get into a brawling fight, and that's going to play right into Derek Lewis. I think Derek Lewis has been in there with better fighters, better competition, and I see him knocking him out. I see Derek Lewis knocking Tai Tuivasa out, which brings us to our first bet of the night, our first action. Derek Lewis, 1.85 units to win one, and Derek Lewis via TKO/KO plus 100, 1 unit to win one. I feel good about these bets. Tai Tuivasa just fought in December. It's a quick turnaround, and I just think he's going to do it to him. Go ahead and skip the next fight. Kyler Phillips versus Marcelo Rojo. We don't have any action on this fight, but I do lean fight doesn't go the distance. Marcelo Rojo is 16-7, and out of all his fights, I believe 17 out of 23 have finished, and he's gotten subbed in 4 out of his 7 losses. This to me was surprising to be so high up in the pay-per-view card. Kyler Phillips is only at 9-2. He's a huge favorite here, minus 350, and it's clear what the UFC is doing here. They're trying to give him, some hype and promotion, give him a nice fight to win, and push him in the division. And I do think he's live for a sub, so maybe look at that sub prop, or a fight doesn't go the distance. But yeah, no, we don't have any action on this fight. We're gonna go ahead and go to the next fight where we do have action, and I'm pumped for this fight, dude. The main event, co-main, and this fight could all be main events on like a fight night. I mean, obviously the title fight, but like these 3 fights are really good. Jared Cannonier versus Derek Brunson. Now, honestly, dude, the winner of this fight is probably getting a title shot. Like the winner of this fight is probably fighting Izzy after he knocks out Robert Whittaker. Jared Cannonier is at minus 175. Derek Brunson's at plus 145. Now, Cannonier is 4-1 in his last 5 fights, with his only loss coming to Robert Whittaker. His last fight was a win over Kevin Gastelum. I mean, who's not beating Kevin Gastelum these days? Like, to me, I'm just not impressed with Gastelum. He's on the same, level as Tills. Like, he's just kind of falling off. But Brunson's 5-0 in his last 5, coming off a submission over Darren Till. And he has a good win over Kevin Holland. But Kevin Holland switched divisions after that loss. So, you can't really put that much value into that win. But the thing in this fight, Martin, is can Brunson get Cannonier down? If he can get him down, then he's going to win this fight. As an underdog, he's going to win. We're not going to win. There's value, I should say. At plus 145, I think it's worth a stab. But if you can't get him down, he's going to get knocked out. Cannonier has legit power. Cannonier used to wrestle or fight at heavyweight and light heavyweight. Dude, his transformation has been crazy. He's jacked now, so he's a big middleweight. So if you can get him down, I got to lean Brunson. I think it's worth a stab. Blonde Brunson's for real. He's on a 5-5 win streak. I think streaking right now. And I'm going to ride that plus money, man. So we're going to take Derek Brunson plus 145, 0.5 units to win 0.72. Next, we have Bobby Green versus Nazareth Hackprast. Bobby Green coming at minus 165, Nazareth at plus 140. Martin, Bobby is the guy that our homie Shane Shapiro submitted in 65 seconds on Fight Pass. He's fighting right now against Nazareth. Now, we have action on Bobby Green. We have him at, I think the line closed. Hold on a second. Computer's freezing. I think the line closed at minus 165. We have 1.65 units on Bobby Green to beat Nazareth. Now, Nazareth's 3-2 in his last 5. He just got ragdolled against Dan Hooker, which I did not see coming. Dan Hooker's not in the division anymore. He's at 145, and he got sparked by Drew Dober. Drew Dober's a great fighter. There's no shame in that loss. But with Bobby Green, he's coming off viciously knocking out Isla Quinta, and I honestly don't value that win that much as much as other people, I feel like, because Al wasn't in fighting shape. He wasn't there. He didn't even know about the fight when it got announced. I remember his coach was on the Anik and Florian podcast, and they talked about did you see Al's announcement? And he's like, what? Like, we have a fight? And so he retired shortly after the fight. And so, good performance for Bobby and everything. But the fight before that really impressed me. Bobby Green won round 3 against Fiziev, and I feel like if that was 5 rounds, who knows? Maybe he would have beat Fiziev. And Fiziev to me is a legit fighter. And so I think the experience here is going to play a factor. Bobby Green's fought the better competition, and I feel confident about this pick. Minus 165, Bobby Green, like I said, 1.65 units to win 1. I will say this though, a lot of Bobby Green's fights go to decisions, and we're in Texas, and Texas has horrible judges, and I hope that doesn't play out throughout the night, but who knows, it might. Next, we're gonna go ahead and skip all the way down into to the fights we have action on. We have action on Andre Arlovsky versus Jared Vanderaa. Arlovsky's at minus 185 and Vanderaa at plus 150. Now, Martin, I'm going to break one of my rules. I know last week we mentioned on the podcast we had a rule where if a dude has a dead animal on his head, we're going to go ahead and bet on him. But one of my other rules is never bet on a guy that's over 40 years old. So I'm breaking that rule. I'm betting on Andre Arlovsky, the 42-year-old. All right? Jared, and this is more of a fade on Jared. I think Jared sucks. All right, so Jared is 3-2 in his last 5, and he blocks punches with his head. His stats are terrible. He has a 33% striking defense. Like, and he has a 22% takedown defense. I heard someone mention Gust of Wind can knock him over and take him down. And it's like, dude, I think Andre's going to be better everywhere. I know he's old, but I just feel like even at minus 185, there's value. So we're going to go ahead, or sorry, minus 165, there's value. We're going to go ahead and take for 1.65 units to win one, Andre Arlovsky. We're breaking the rule, but we're going to send it. The next 2 fights I want to talk about are on a parlay. So we have Carlos Ulberg at 3-1, barely any experience, versus Fabio Cherant at 7-3. Likewise, not much experience. Now Ulberg is the favorite at minus 230, Cherant at plus 180. Now for everyone out there, I don't know if you know Martin, but Carlos Ulberg's teammates with Stylebender, and he is sort of getting a push here because of that. Because I don't think he's UFC ready. I don't think either of these guys are UFC caliber, but I do think Fabio is the worst person in his division in the UFC. He's not very good, and I'm going to fade him here. I think Carlos is going to knock him out, and I just honestly, I wasn't impressed with Cherant on the Contender Series. He got outstruck by a dude that was not supposed to outstrike him, and Ulberg, unless he gasses out, I think he's going to be able to find that chin and finish this fight. I might take a look at the prop for a fight doesn't go the distance. But yeah, I really like Carlos Ulberg here to get his first UFC win at minus 230. And hopefully start the night for City Kickboxing in the win column. But then we get Jeremiah Wells versus Blood Diamond. Yeah, Martin, this dude's name is Blood Diamond. Another City Kickboxing guy. And I'm fading Blood Diamond here. He doesn't have very much experience. I think he has 3 MMA fights, but he has hundreds of kickboxing fights. But the thing is, Jeremiah Wells is going to get him down and submit him. And I feel like he's going to do it round 2. But I really do feel like the lack of ground game by Blood Diamond here is going to cost him. I don't think he's going to get the fight he's looking for. And I think Ulberg and Wells on a parlay is bring that value down. Minus 230 on both guys. I probably wouldn't lay 2.3 units on either guy straight. So on a parlay, it takes it down. I'm going to put those guys with Izzy. We'll talk about it when we recap all of our bets. But we have one more bet before we recap. Our final bet is Sergey Morozov versus Douglas DeAndre Silva. Morozov coming in at minus 210. DeAndre Silva at plus 165. Now, Douglas is 36 years old. He's coming off a win. And Sergey is coming off a win after losing against Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, that was a good fight, close fight. He got submitted. But then he bounced back and looked really good. The thing is, Andre Silva only loses to really good guys. He has a loss to Peter Yan, Rob Font, Lerone Murphy, and Zubaira Tugarov. Those guys are all good fighters, and you have to be really good to beat this guy, apparently. But I will say this, man. I was looking at Douglas DeAndre Silva's regional record, and he was beating guys that were horrible. The records there were insane. He was beating guys that were like 2-10 or 1-1, while he was like 13-0 and 14-0. Like, it was really weird stat padding. And I just think Sergey's fought the better competition, even though he has less fights. And I think the wrestling might be a factor here, and I feel confident about the minus 210. So we're going to go ahead and take Sergey Morozov minus 210, 2.1 units to win 1. And with that, we'll go ahead and recap all our bets for UFC 271. Before we get to that, guys, just want to say we really appreciate all the support, all the feedback we've gotten in our short time doing this stuff. It's pretty sick to see all the comments and, people saying they're taking our bets and winning money on our bets. And, it feels good for sure. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give it to my guy, producer Martin, to read off the UFC 271 official any action bets.
We have Derek Lewis minus 185, 1.85 units to win 1. Derek Lewis via TKO plus 100, 1 unit to win 1. Derek Brunson 0.5 units plus 145 to win 0.72. A personal favorite bet of mine on here. Bobby Green minus 165, 1.65 units to win 1.
Andrei Arlovsky minus 185, 1.85 units to win 1. Followed by Sergey Morozov minus 210, shout out to Kazakhstan, 2.1 units to win 1. Then Martin, we actually have a parlay to cap off the night. We don't usually parlay on the podcast, but we want a pay-per-view. A 3-legger plus 180, 1 unit to win 1.8. Carlos Olberg, Jeremiah Wells, and Israel Adesanya. With that, dude, that will recap our entire UFC 271 any action. What is this?
Sorry, I had my phone muted. It's the bookie calling us again. Hello? Yeah, it's Claude here. You want to know the lock of the night for this week? Do you mind waiting for the video? We're actually doing a live show. You want to know right now? Okay, give me a second.
Hello? Hello? Dang it. Effie, can you hear me?
Yeah, this is Effie from Any Action Sportscast.
Hey, Effie, it's the bookie here. Sorry to book you guys during your live show. I was wondering if you could give me the lock of the night early?
Oh, man. Just subscribe to the Any Action Sportscast channel and you get the episodes as soon as they drop. But make sure you put the notifications on because then you'll get them immediately.
But the lines are moving.
The lines move? You want it ASAP?
If you don't mind.
I mean, I guess if you need it right now. The Any Action Sportscast UFC 271 lock of the night. Israel Adesanya minus 275.
Thank you so much, Effie. I do appreciate that. And I'll definitely subscribe and I'll definitely put the notification on so I can get that lock of the night. And it better hit.
Are you serious, bro? Have you missed one yet? Get this schmuck off the line. Sorry about that, guys. Hold up. How do I hang up on this thing? Oh. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Any Action Sportscast. We, had some fun recapping this event. Super stoked to watch it. I think it's gonna be a good event. Live up to the hype. And still.
This is real. Could it be? Could it be? Yeah. Could it be?